My name is Joyce White. I'm a food historian and a member of the Board of Trustees for Annapolis's Hammond-Harwood House, built in 1774. It is my pleasure to share with you some of my favorite recipes from Maryland's Way, the Hammond-Harwood House Cookbook, first published in 1963 by the Hammond-Harwood House Association. This book is an invaluable record of historic recipes gathered from kitchens across the entire state of Maryland, and I'm thrilled to share some of them with you. It offers modern cooks an authentic taste of history. Today's focus from the Maryland's Way cookbook is on corn fritters, also known as artificial or mock oysters. During the summer, when oysters are out of season, those who yearned for a nice fried oyster had to make do with substitutes to take their place. Sweet corn kernels were one of the most popular substitutes used to mimic fried oysters. Other less frequently used substitutes were eggplant and salsify. It is surprising that salsify, a once very well-known vegetable, was not used more often because it actually tastes like oysters and was even given the nickname oyster plant. Despite this, sweet corn was the most popular ingredient used when making mock oysters. One of the ingredients that makes this dish similar in taste to an oyster dish is the inclusion of ground cayenne pepper. This was a typical ingredient used in many 19th century seafood recipes. For today's mock oyster recipe, you will need 2 to 3 ears of sweet corn, 2 eggs divided, salt, ground black pepper, ground cayenne pepper, all-purpose flour, and butter or other fat for frying. First, you will need to scrape or cut off the cob enough corn so that you have 2 cups. Then, using a potato masher, press the corn to squeeze out as much of their milky centers as you can. The next step is to separate the egg yolks from the whites and place them into separate bowls. Then whisk the egg yolks and set aside. To finish off prepping the eggs, whisk the egg whites until they are light and frothy. Now it's time to put it all together. Add the salt, peppers, and egg yolks to the corn and mix together. Now, using a spatula, gently and slowly fold the egg whites into the mixture, being careful to keep the egg whites light and airy. Add the flour to the mixture next, and gently fold it into the mixture like this. Now it's time to heat the pan and melt the fat so that the fritters can be cooked. The recipe calls for just butter, but I advise that shortening be used with the butter because it will make the fritters crispier while preventing them from burning. Place 1 ounce, which is 2 tablespoons of the batter, into the frying pan, and remember not to crowd the pan. Fry each fritter for about 2 to 3 minutes per side, or until the bottoms look golden brown. The amount of cooking time will depend on how hot your pan is, and usually the second batch cooks much more quickly than the first. These fritters are just about ready. Remove them from the pan and drain on paper towels. You can serve them as is with no accompaniments, or serve them with tartar sauce to add to the illusion that this is seafood. Or dip them into some spicy chipotle mayo to enhance the spice in the fritters. I hope you enjoyed this video and are inspired to make this recipe. Thanks for watching.